What's up guys, Gemma here and back again for that mid-week pick-up video, a retro game haul that will probably blow your mind. Got some awesome stuff in front of me, about 300 quid's worth of stuff in front of me, and it was from this video right here down at Vintage Gamer, whereby we did an awesome retro game tour, and you can see that video, it'll be located in the cards. And again, massive shout out to Nick from Vintage Gamer. Go and watch that video after you've watched this, and go and show Nick some love on Facebook, because he had some right belters in there. And there will be a ton more pictures over on Instagram. Some really rare stuff that you saw in the video, like the PlayStation 1 super rare debugging console, one of the rarest Game Boy games there is, kind of out there. There was that in the cabinet. There was just so much stuff. So go and follow me on Instagram as well, guys. But we're going to dive into this. So I hope you guys can go and get yourselves a drink, get yourselves nice and comfortable, tickle that like button, and let's take a look at some of the awesome games I picked up last weekend. So I'm going to start off with a game that I've been looking for quite some time, and I actually found that this was a bit more of a bonus than what I was bargaining for. And the reason being is because it is an ex-Blockbuster rental game. Now to me that holds a little bit more weight, but I am going to get the non-rental copy as well. It is Nightmare Creatures on the PlayStation 1. A stunning game that kind of came out around the same time as Medieval. My brother and I used to play them both, and we'd kind of jump between Medieval and Nightmare Creatures. So this was, this says right here, if the case will actually stay together, not for rental only, not for resale. So additional pictures again will be on Instagram. So I just thought that was pretty darn nifty, super cool, and a £5. Nick gives really good prices as well, so if you do need any bargains, go and check Nick out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put Nightmare Creatures right there. Great start, guys. Awesome start. I have this as a single case, but this was purely for the collection. I wanted the double case of Worms on the PlayStation 1. Now, if you saw the video, you would have seen the side room as you go into the store, this huge room, and from floor to ceiling on all four walls, Xbox, PS1, PS2, N64, Game Boy, Mega Drive games. Like, that room's amazing. You have to check the Retro Game Hunt out after this. And that's where I clocked this on the double case, which I just feel like, you know, like I said to you guys previously, there's a kind of gamer in me and there's a collector in me, so, you know, one or both of those boxes has to be ticked. So this one was from the collector's kind of standpoint. Super stoked with that. Super stoked with that. Carrying on with the double case. Now I don't own this, I've been looking for this for quite some time. I'm just going to grab it out of one of the bags here. We're going to grab it right here. This was from behind the counter. I don't want the manual to fall out. There were a few more kind of PS1 games behind the till, behind the counter, that probably had a bit more value in them, so this wasn't in that smaller room. And it is loaded, which is a really nice top-down kind of shooter. You know, you're kind of navigating into different rooms, solving puzzles, collecting key cards, moving to the next level. You know, the formula's pretty basic. I own the double version of the double case of Reloaded, the sequel, which isn't as good, but this released on Sega, Saturn and PS1, and I have been looking for this, and I think this was 15 quid. So I was like, I saw it on the back, and I said, you know, I've got to have it. Like, you know, you just see those things, he's like, I've got to have it, I've got to have it. So I'm like, yes mate, wickedly buzzing, absolutely mint. Let's keep going. I'm going to show you a new console, and we're going to show you something SNES was. Got a load of NES games, so let's keep going, shall we? Right, although I have lots of these, I don't own a boxed one, and it is a SNES controller, or Super Nintendo, however you want to pronounce it, guys. SNES. I keep hearing people in the comments saying it's not a SNES. We say it like that over here. It is a SNES controller, and this controller is absolutely in pristine condition. The box is really nice condition as well, as you guys may or may not be able to see. But again, snap yourselves over to Insta. I will be drip feeding loads of this stuff out on Instagram throughout the week, so you can see how tasty this controller is. So I wanted the box, there's a little bit of a sticker damage right on there, but that's absolutely fine. That is absolutely fine. Next up then, ticking that collector side in me, bought this again specifically, I because I actually have it. I actually have the red box edition, and I have been wanting this for quite some time. Actually, I can't believe I don't have it. It is a really mint copy of Super Mario Kart, the blue box. This was circulating a lot when I was a kid. It's my favourite game of all time. It's probably one of the most common questions I get asked. What's your favourite game of all time? It is Super Mario Kart. Nick was so nice to me. He was like, I'm gonna, like, he had a few of these in box, and he found just like really nice condition cart, and he made up like the best inserts. Like, everything was wicked. He really looked after me. I was so stoked. So I have the red version of this, the classics version, and now the blue version. So I'm like buzzing, absolutely buzzing. Next up then is a console. It is a handheld, and I actually gave my last lot of them to Jess to modify. And when she put the shells on, the buttons on, the screen on, we found that there were some dead pixels. There were some dead pixels, and it was an original Game Boy. So now I have a really dapper original Game Boy, complete with all of the leaflets, the original headphones, the styrofoam is intact, the game there is in there, and the bloody Game Boy is immaculate. So again, if you want to see the inside of this stuff, smack yourself over to Instagram, because it will all be on there eventually this week. Now again, box is really nice condition, guys. Put a little bit of B-roll up. So I'm like super stoked with it. So I've been after one for quite some time, but I was waiting for that right time. And I kind of figured, you know, being down there, it just felt right, and it was right at the back of the till again. I was like, come on, baby, it's mine. So I'm gonna place that right there. We're nowhere near done, guys, so I hope you're still here. If you're still here, put this hashtag right here in the comment section to let me know you're still here. Next up then is a box complete GBA title, and it is F-Zero Maximum Velocity. I think I paid a $5 for this. I love the F-Zero series. I was kind of hoping we'd get an F-Zero announcement with the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Direct, a couple of weeks ago now, but nothing's come yet. So I'm just soaking up the F-Zero on previous games, the F-Zero nostalgia, the F-Zero buzz on previous releases, and I don't own this. In fact, I've never played this one, but looking on the back of it, you know, the screenshots actually remind me a lot of F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. I have a few copies of it knocking about around these shelves somewhere. So I think for me, with that being like the first F-Zero game I ever played, I'm always going to kind of favour it because it was my childhood grow-up F-Zero go-to. So that's why I purchased this, because it did remind me of the SNES version when I picked it out off the shelf. And you guys can probably see the rest of the GBA games in Vintage Gamer from the Retro Game Hunt. Right, we're going to blitz through some Sega Mega Drive beauties. We got original Xbox after that, we got NES and a Master System game to show you guys. Oh, it is hotting up here in the games room. Right, first up then, Mega Drive Bubsy 2, box complete. Don't own it. Didn't really enjoy the first. It's not the best game to have ever been released back in the 16-bit period. It seemed to lack a lot. There was never enough going on for me, although the character always intrigued me. It was very cute. I could completely see what the developers were trying to do. Bubsy unfortunately just didn't take off the way kind of like Rayman did on PS1 or Sonic or Mario. I think that was what they were kind of trying to do, you know, like things like Earthworm Jim, really good games, and then kind of Bubsy just wasn't quite at that threshold. But I'll play it. I will play it, and it is box complete, and I'm super stoked to have it in the collection. So it's going to sit nicely with the Sega stuff right here. Dipping down again, some kind of staple titles really, some staple titles in the collection in terms of Sega Mega Drive. I just snagged a copy of Mega Games 1 and Mega Games 3 simply because I have Mega Games 2. Now I'm going to tell you guys something, okay? Don't hate me for this, right? This is kind of insane. In this room, with there's over 2,000 games, I can't put everything out because there's another room. I do not own a copy of Streets of Rage. Like, I think I own it, but on Mega Games 2. I don't have the actual game. So I asked Nick and he didn't have it in either, and I'm just like, what? I don't even have it, like, the copy of Streets of Rage. I only have it on Mega Games 2. So I'm just like, I'm after a copy of Streets of Rage. So probably when you see me at the Retro Gaming Market in Doncaster, that's the one I'm going to be snagging. But simply back to this, Mega Games 1, 2 and 3 now is in the collection, as I've kind of got the first and the third game, just to kind of beef out the trilogy a little bit. Alright then, if you guys are a fan of the Flashback series, you may be familiar with Another World. Not a game I see often around on the Super Nintendo. Have it for the for the Sega Mega Drive. I have it on the Super Nintendo. Unfortunately missing manual, but that's absolutely fine. For me, Another World isn't as good as Flashback. The world doesn't feel as fleshed out, but you can expect a similar graphical level on Another World if you haven't played it. A game that I never really knew what to do on. It was just like a bit of an Echo the Dolphin experience for me, just kind of like follow your nose kind of thing. But I don't have it, and I wouldn't mind playing it actually. It was one that I probably spent a little bit more time with on the Amiga over anything, so I kind of figured I'd pick it up on the Sega Mega Drive and give it a road test. Now back in the 16-bit, 8-bit days, back growing up, I did love races. And I love Lotus Turbo Challenge. I loved it on the Amiga. Played like Top Gear as well on the SNES. That's another one of my games that I just really love on the SNES. But Lotus 2 RECS, Race Environment Construction System, bit of a mouthful. I didn't have this in the collection, and with me really enjoying like the 16-bit races, even like things like your Outrun, your classic Outruns, beautiful games, like timeless really, loads of replay factor. I kind of figured I'd pick it up, you know, it's like a £5, decent two-player experience. Let me know if you've played any of these, by the way. I do like to hear from you guys, you know, as to what your experiences are, so definitely hit me up in the comment section below. Last couple of Mega Drive games, and we actually got a GameCube game I'm going to be showing you as well. And when I got home it wasn't in it, so Nick's hopefully he's going to send it up to me, but I have the case, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll have the actual game. So we'll go this then. We'll show you the last couple of Mega Drive games. We've got X Mutants, and I never used to pronounce this as a kid. Tell Me It's Adventure. It was just confused me because the text is kind of really weirdly placed. But Tell Me It's Adventure and X Mutants. I think this is probably, out of the two I've got here, probably one of the more obscure out of the two. But nonetheless, I don't own them. I don't remember playing this as a kid, so this is a new one on me. Did you play it? Let me know again in the comment section. Did play this. I think my friend Paul used to have this. Hasn't aged that well, to be absolutely honest with you, but kind of figured it's in decent condition, it's complete, we'll bang it in the Mega Drive collection. So we'll keep going. We've got everything kind of spaced out all over here. I'll show you the GameCube game first then. Again, you guys know with my GameCube stuff, I only buy games that I will actually play. And I will play Sonic DX Adventure, or Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut, so unfortunately the game wasn't in it when I got back, but I know that these things happen, you know, but that's absolutely cool. Again, quite an obscure one in terms of your GameCube stuff, and one of the really good things that I enjoyed about Vintage Gamer, where there were like a ton of Dreamcast, a ton of Game Gear, GameCube, Game Gear? There's actually a ton of Game Gear games, you know, titles you don't typically see, you will find at Vintage Gamer. So I was like super stoked to snag that. Next up then, we got a pile of NES games, some Xbox original, and a Master System title to plough through, so if you're still here, thank you so much. So the majority of these are boxed complete, and I felt it time to give my NES, my weak NES collection, some love. So, picked up The Adventures of Bay Billy. Most of these I've actually never played, it was Jess that picked them out. I think she, as a gamer, was more familiar with the NES growing up as I was. I kind of got familiar with the NES like by playing my brothers, and it was typically the staple titles, your Marios, your Duck Hunts, you know, your California games. But unfortunately I've never actually played this, picked it up purely on just kind of the back really. I mean, it looks pretty decent, I don't know. I didn't really talk to Nick about it, but I know with these pickups videos, you guys are always on board to tell me whether or not I've picked up decent stuff. I will play them, so it just kind of gives me a lot to chip away at over the next couple of weeks. Next up then, we have Rad Gravity. The characters kind of flipped up there a little bit, but that's absolutely cool. It kind of baffled me when I first looked at it. But a game again that I've never played, actually never seen. So let me know if you have played Rad Gravity. Actually running out of space here, guys. Another one that Jess picked. Now, I loved the movies as a kid, 1 and 2. So just couldn't pass up Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Bloody great films. I've played, I think I have played this, but not for a very long time. So just like authentic as hell. I mean, I used to be so scared of Gremlins as a kid. Like, I was so frightened of them. Loved Mogwai, hated the looks of these things. Genuinely scary movie. as like a young girl growing up, you know, late 80s, early 90s. Two more from the 8-bit era of the NES. We have Terminator 2 Judgment Day and Gauntlet 2. It was Jess that picked Gauntlet. I picked this because I used to play this with my brother. I think Jess played a lot of this with her siblings, so that was nice for her just to kind of see that. And one of the good things that we both agreed on in terms of the NES stock is that they were, again, boxes were in really decent condition, inserts really good. You know, you feel like you're getting a lot for your money when you go down to somewhere like Vintage Gamer. I'm not paid to say any of this. These are my own personal opinions of the store itself. So I'm like super stoked. So in terms of like the NES stuff, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 really solid NES titles. Win-win for me, mate. Original Xbox games then went in for games again that I don't see. This is where, you know, you kind of find some like jewels in the crown, or at least that's what I'm hoping. So it's a bit of a road testing experiment for me. We got Crash Twin Sanity, and we got Alien Hominids? Alien Hominids, what even? Never seen it. No idea what this game is like at all. Absolutely zip, nothing. So it was one of those it was one of the Xbox games in the room off to the left. I'm hoping it's good. And I kind of figured with my nephews being very much into Crash Bandicoot thanks to the PlayStation 3 revamping the first 3 games, and I figured we'd have some fun with this as well. Final game. We're down to the final game. If you're still here, thank you very much. The final game is another 8-bit game on the Master System. This time we've got Desert Speed Trap Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote. Loved this game back in the day. Loved the cartoon as well. I mean, there's double the nostalgia in this. Unfortunately, no manual. I think like Master System games look pretty bland when there's no manual because they're just, the cards are so boring, the insides are so boring, and even the artwork itself's not great. But nonetheless, I kind of figured because I don't spend much time with the Master System, I didn't want to buy too many Master System games. Again, it's pretty much like the GameCube for me. I'll only buy what I'm going to be playing. So that is in the collection, and that is it. That is it. Guys, let's conclude. So thank you very much for watching. You can expect more out and about stuff. You can expect awesome retro game pickups like this. You can expect awesome live streams as well. So lots of good stuff going on here on the channel. I hope you enjoy my content, and definitely hit like and subscribe if you do, and I will see you in the next one on Friday. But for now, guys, I hope you're having a beautiful day. My name is Gemma. Take care. See you soon.